Welcome back to Pink 365, the podcast where we talk about the things women are usually told to whisper about: our bodies, our health, our fear, and our resilience, and everything in between. I am your host, Miranda McKeon. Pink 365 exists to make a space for honest conversations about cancer, womanhood, and the realities we don't talk about enough, not just for 1 month a year, but for all year long. Before we get into today's episode, I want to thank our incredible sponsors, NBC Cure and Cancer Culture, who are changing the way we talk about and fundraise for stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. This work is deeply important, and we are so grateful for their support. Sydney Towle is many things. She is an online superstar. You may know her on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, where she has amassed an audience of over 1 million people. And not just 1 million people who are sitting there, they are locked in, as am I, as is everyone. She has a full-time job. She's lived in New York for a year. She is living alongside stage 4 cholangiocarcinoma and sharing her journey so transparently with radical honesty. She is a part-time model. She's a yoga teacher. She's a runner. What doesn't she do is the question. Welcome to Pink 365, Sydney Towle.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I'm also nervous. Sid and I were chatting right before this, and we were just trying to really lock in. These are both some of our first podcasts. This is my only second time hosting. And I just listened to an incredible podcast you were on. We can link that below, another Sid outlet. But this episode is more than just to cancer thrivers or people who have been touched by cancer having a conversation. Sid and I met about a year ago and have been friends ever since. Where did we first meet?
Yeah, so we met at a influencer Pilates event, and it was
sounds so influencer good. At an influencer Pilates event, basically everyone was drinking matcha and had their hair braided.
No, literally, that's what happened. But also, it was my first event, my first ever influencer event, because I had just moved to New York. And so I remember, like, I did not know a single person, but I recognized faces, and I am like a fangirl. So I saw,
aren't we all?
So I'm seeing like the New York City influencer girlies, and I don't hide it. I have no shame. I'm like, oh my gosh, I watch you guys all the time. And they're like, who are you?
They're like, thanks so much.
How did you get here? No, but yeah, they were like, thank you. But then Miranda like tapped me on my shoulder, and she was like, are you Sydney? And I was like, someone here knows who I am.
Well, this was my moment to fangirl, because I've been following Sid for, I think, only like 2 weeks or something.
Oh, really?
Like not that long. And then I saw you moved into New York, and I don't know, I think the whole mouse thing happened before this. Right. Sid has been tortured by mice.
Mice and roaches. Yeah, just New York City.
Things.
Things.
So I saw Sid, and yeah, this was my moment to fangirl. I was like, are you Sid? I've been following you. And I was thinking about this on the way, like on my walk to the podcast studio this morning, of just like how the dance that we play as people who have been touched by cancer, but also just like humans in this world, when you relate to someone and you like, I didn't know if I should just come out and say like, oh, so like I'm like, I've had treatment or whatever. Be like, how do you even bring that up? Because you don't know where different people are at. And maybe that's something where you're like, oh, I don't talk about that. Meanwhile, like I had seen you be open online, so I could figure. But if someone asked me on a sensitive day, that would not be a great day to ask me or say, oh, I had that too. And then I would start bawling or something. So
that's true.
You don't really know. You don't really know. But I think I just went out there, or maybe I don't even know if I told you I had cancer the first time.
I don't think you did. And then I, of course, naturally, like immediately looked you up afterward.
Yes.
Right. And then the first thing on your Instagram, I think, is like an article about you having breast cancer.
Yeah.
And I was shocked, because obviously I'm sure you get this a lot, but I get this all the time. Like, you don't look like you have cancer. And I know that you're in remission, but like I would not be able to tell otherwise.
Right.
And so seeing that, I was just kind of like jaw drop.
Yeah.
Whoa. Because immediately you can just relate to someone on like a much deeper level than just meeting someone out in the wild.
Yeah. And gosh, this is like so much of what I want to talk about in this episode, but the complexities of how sharing a cancer experience or being affected by it in any way, you sometimes do feel like you have this little portal to each other's hearts. Like, whoa, like I know that you've had some very dark days and you know that I have had some very dark days, not from anything we've seen on each other's page, but just like the knowledge of the fact that we have both had cancer in different ways.
Right.
So that's one thing. And there's a little bit of that feeling of like, you could understand things about my life that no one else could.
Yeah.
That is so meaningful and so connecting. And on the other hand, I literally can't help but bring nuance to all of these conversations where like the kinds of cancer that we have and had and like the different journeys that we've been through are so profoundly different. And while they are related emotions, like even when I have obviously connected with so many women who have breast cancer, and even when they tell me they have the same subtype, the same like exact treatment plan, for a lot of my life, I was like, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
And I still feel that way. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. I think it's a shared burden that we've all had to go through. Like, we can all understand the experience of having cancer, but I'm the same way. People with my specific type of cancer are typically over the age of 50. And so I remember going to like the conference for my cancer last year for the first time and speaking at it. And I was the youngest person in the room by like decades. And it was so strange because all of these people could relate to the different treatments I had gone through and the different doctors I had seen. But it was a completely different life experience. These people had families, they had children, grandchildren, and I'm, in my early 20s and still navigating a lot of life that they've gone through already. So it's interesting just to also think about like the different life stages people are at when they are experiencing their cancer journey, and also can go through like remission, and then, if it comes back later on in life as well, like that's a possibility. So it's never something that you can leave as well, which is, I know, something that you talk about too.
Yeah. Okay, so let me get this straight. You went to a conference for your type of cancer last year. This was your first year at the conference?
Yeah.
And you were speaking at it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's insane.
I know.
What were you speaking about?
Well, I was kind of one of the keynote speakers because
I was kind of one of the keynote speakers.
Okay, don't act like you're not the same.
Whatever.
You're the same. But it's because I post about it on social media, and no one ever posts about cholangiocarcinoma on social media because it's a very rare cancer, and because it's typically, again, found within an older population. So it's not typically people that are making videos on social media.
Yeah.
So I think I was an outlier in that way. And so they saw me kind of as an advocate.
Yeah.
Someone who could speak that people might recognize. But that was also a lot of pressure because the people in the room either were in remission or have been dealing with the cancer for a lot longer than I have.
Okay.
So I felt almost like I was like this beginner that was speaking to a room of professionals in a sense.
And you're like, why do I even have the right to speak about this?
Right. I was like, why am I sharing my story when these people have been through this for so much longer than I have, Like,
Totally.
What right do I have?
I think in that regard, like, I feel this all the time, and I think it's a giant bout of imposter syndrome. And sometimes it helps to just like trust the authorities at hand.
That's so true.
They asked me to be here.
That's true.
Surely. And then I'm like, surely you know better than I. So I guess this is all fine.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I also just think like this is another nuance of having this cancer is just I don't look like I have cancer.
Yeah.
And so that's another level of the imposter syndrome, because I also get told a lot that like I don't look sick or that I don't look like I have cancer. And so that makes me feel like I don't have cancer. I internalize that. And so then I think that I am fine and always have to be fine.
Yeah.
And so then I feel like I'm not representing the cancer community in a fair way. And I know that's a lot of mental gymnastics, but it's because I have anxiety. I have anxiety, first of all. And second of all, I have had comments say, this is not what cancer looks like. And I have never claimed to be like the face of cancer. I'm just sharing like my journey with it. But I think it can be hard for some people who experience cancer in a different way than I have, have lost their hair, have experienced more traditional symptoms of cancer than I have. And it makes sense.
That is heavy.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of mental gymnastics there. Mm-hmm. It is so complex. Mm-hmm. And what are we talking about in that there's a way that cancer should look and a way that cancer can't look?
Right.
And that I lost my hair and you didn't. Mm-hmm. So what does that even mean? Like,
right.
And what are we picturing when we picture cancer?
Yeah.
Like, is it just some old person? I think a lot of people picture it as some old person that doesn't have a face or a name. Because then once you have a relative have it and it's your grandpa or grandmother, then it's not just an old person anymore. You don't just picture cancer as some faraway thing. It's like you put a face to it. And I think when people see you who was just objectively like so beautiful. The photos that you just took on your vacation, Sid had this like insane professional photo shoot. She's battying it up like in this bikini. And can we just talk about this? She's going to become a Sports Illustrated model. This isn't the official announcement, but we are manifesting.
No, we're putting it into existence right now.
No one more deserving. Such beautiful representation. Like this needs to happen. But I think when people objectively see, like half of the comments I feel like on all of your videos are like, Sydney, you are like radiant and glowing and just so objectively gorgeous that when people see you, someone who literally looks like a model, they're like, I'm not sure that's what I've always pictured in my head.
Right.
Therefore, you don't fit my projection. Right. So I'm going to discount your entire hardship life existence. That seems fair.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of what happens on the internet.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about the community and feeling imposter syndrome in terms of that in-person forum at your consortium or what are they called? Conferences?
Yeah.
Cancer conferences?
Yeah.
And then some of those projections that you've had people make about you, I'm assuming a lot of that is online. Can you talk a little bit about being so public, sharing cancer journey publicly, and specifically the community aspect around that?
Yeah, it's never been something that I've thought too deeply about because the day that I was diagnosed, the day that I like picked up the paper from the radiologist's parking lot, I immediately, after contacting my friends and family, posted to TikTok and was like, I have cancer. And ever since then, I have posted every single detail of what has happened. And it's, for me, I don't speak about my feelings. I never have. And I know that's weird to say because you see all of my feelings on social media.
Yeah.
But if you know me in real life, and my friends and my family will be confused because they'll see a TikTok video and they'll be like, I didn't know you were feeling this way. But it's because like I have never felt safe enough or brave enough to show my emotions with people that I care about. So TikTok, social media has been a way for me to express how I'm feeling and my emotions and relate to people without being completely vulnerable with the people in my life.
Okay, so you just psychoanalyzed and therapized yourself all in one.
I've thought a lot about this.
Yeah.
I do a lot.
I've had some hours to think about it. That is so interesting. I felt very similarly when I was in active treatment, and I had the same. A lot of people would come to me because I not necessarily was TikToking, but I was putting out these blog posts, which you are now on Substack. You guys have to check it out. Her writing is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
But I think social media and writing, there's a common theme, I feel like, for a lot of people in the cancer world of finding these as outlets where again, I know I used the word portal before, but they feel like portals to like express how we're feeling without having to explain it to every single person. Because also you have a bajillion friends and people in the city, people from Dartmouth, family, like it's a lot to have to go through with every single person,
Right.
keep them up to date. So for me, it was like a way to keep them up to date. And then also like sometimes I do want to feel those emotions with myself and then not have to like rehash them.
Yes.
Like, here's my video. You now have a temperature check on how I'm doing, which is horribly, by the way.
Yeah.
And then you can do with that information what you will.
Exactly. That's exactly something you just touched on, is that I can make one video explaining something and not have to text or FaceTime like a bunch of different people and tell them the same bad news or the same updates. Like that becomes very mentally taxing.
Yeah.
And so I think part of it is I can just put this video out there and I know that my friends and my family follow me.
Yeah.
And they can see my updates. But at the same time, I think that creates this sort of like one-sided, they know you better than you know them, which I found a lot. Like they'll know exactly how I'm feeling, exactly what I'm doing. And then it becomes harder to have real conversations because it's not like they can genuinely ask how I'm doing because they've already seen it on social media, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now I feel like I'm playing catch up on your life.
I feel that urgent sense of overcompensating for that imbalance every single day. When I'm with my family and with my friends, it's almost like, why would I ever spend any time talking about myself?
Right.
Meanwhile, I do. I still do. But like, why would I spend time talking about myself when you already know what I ate for breakfast?
Right.
That I found a piece of plastic in my toothpaste, like all of this. So now I just need to know about you, but then that feels ingenuine too.
Right. No, it'll be like, I'll see people that I haven't spoken to in forever at like parties, like from our college and stuff. And they'll be like, how's your cockroach situation? And I'm like, I don't even know
what state you're in.
Yeah. I didn't know you lived here. I don't know what job you're doing. It's like a strange relationship to have with people on social media.
Definitely something to navigate. I also want to touch on this tool of putting the video out or putting a Substack out. And I think a very practical way, I'm thinking of our audience here who a lot of these have family members or themselves or people in their lives, or just like a tool to add into your toolkit for the future. I think not everyone is going to want to be on TikTok. Like,
right.
No one
wouldn't blame them.
wouldn't blame them. So I think, I don't know, like brainstorming around what an alternative could be. Maybe that's like a little text update that you send to a friend to send out for you, or like some sort of like newsletter email chain. Like I remember when my parents were giving birth to, or my mom was giving birth. What people say, like, oh, he's pregnant now, you know, with the wife's baby. So anyways, when my parents were giving birth, they talk about how my grandparents were writing out long emails to update everyone on like what was going on. And I think we like could still use those tools.
It's funny you say that because my mom actually, right when I was diagnosed, started the SID support squad on Facebook.
She did not?
She did right away, immediately. And she keeps that thing updated. She's like Gossip Girl, weekly updates. Like
still
weekly updates. Yeah.
Is it just your family and friends?
Yeah, she keeps it private to family and friends, but people can like request to join if we know them.
Yeah, this isn't for
this is not for the broader
trolls.
Not for the Reddit
trolls
users.
Not welcome. Yeah, no one on Reddit.
Off of that, I've heard that some people will use this website. I forget what it's called, but it's a website where you can just post your updates.
Okay.
Kind of like a blog.
Yeah.
But you just post your updates and all of your friends and family can just go on and check it,
Very
which
cool.
I think is a great idea.
Okay.
So you don't have to ask. Sometimes you're not sure if you should ask. And I think that creates a lot of weirdness on both ends, because then the person who's going through it can feel like they don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, this person must just not care. Then a lot of times on the other side, it's like, I don't know if I should bring this up. I don't know if this is something that this person wants to talk about right now.
Yeah. I think this is getting into our next subject, which is friendships and isolation. And I have felt both of those things. And I'm sure all of us have in life too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, why haven't they said anything?
Yeah.
I guess I'm sure you do care, but I felt so mad during my treatment. I felt so angry at people and at friends because I was like, I'm going through this awful, terrible thing and I have no choice but to look it straight in the face and take it on. And I'm bald in the middle of college and you don't have the courage to check in and say, I'm thinking of you.
Yeah.
Thinking of you. 3 words, a punctuation if you feel like it. You couldn't even do that. Like, that's where I felt so angry. And my lesson that I learned from this is like, always say something you will never regret. You don't have to have a long back and forth. You don't have to have the perfect thing to say. You could say, I have no idea what to say to you right now. I'm thinking of you, holding you in my heart. Or if you're a guy and that feels too emotional, something less personal. I don't know.
Right.
But always say something instead of not saying something. That's what I took out of it. And now where I feel like my life's a little bit calmer, I'm back to struggling with it because I feel awkward and I don't know what to say some of the time.
Yeah.
And even I've said to you so many times, I am at a loss for words.
Yeah.
Nothing about this is right. And I don't know if I should say, I'm sorry. I don't know if that feels rude. So I'll just say, I'm sorry. Love you.
Love you. Yeah. That's all you need. Honestly, all you need is someone to just say like, I see you.
Yeah.
I understand you're going through something difficult. That is literally it. Like, it does not matter. I personally am not someone who gets offended. I will not, no matter how you say something.
Yeah.
It's always been about intent for me. And if I know your intent, if you simply send me a text message, I know that your intent is that you care about me.
Yeah.
Even if it comes out not in the perfect way or in the perfect string of words, I know it's that you care about me. And sometimes that's all you need to know when you're already feeling so lonely and isolated, going through this experience that is so challenging.
Yeah. I even had I love this example, but I had a guy friend in college who we were never like perfectly best friends. We were close enough where I think when I got cancer, he was like, WTF, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
So he texted me and he was like, no idea what to do here. I'm going to send you gifts of dogs. So he would send me like one every few days or like once a week. They were so random. Every time he sent one though, like he was thinking of me.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He didn't need to say anything. It was literally a gif of a dog like skateboarding or dancing or whatever. And like that was so helpful.
That's so sweet.
There are so many ways to show someone support.
So many.
So who are your closest people around you? Like, are these Dartmouth girls?
Yeah. Yeah. Dartmouth girls and guys. Yeah. My best friends all live here. One of them just moved to San Francisco. Zoe, we miss you. And then I have some LA friends as well that I'm still in touch with since I just moved from LA about a year ago. But yeah, mainly my New York bestie.
And as you said, you're not updating them one-to-one. But when you see them in person, are they like, what's going on?
I'll typically text them because I know that I'm going to post a video.
Okay.
And I've learned at this point, with dealing with this with my family as well, I need to communicate better with the people in my life first before I go on social media and drop a bomb. And that they then have to witness. And they're like, Sydney, why did you not tell us this first? It's because I'm scared to talk about it.
Right.
So I usually will text them first. And then I think I've established this pattern incidentally in not talking about things in person. So typically people will not, my friends, my closest friends will not bring it up to me. I think unless I do, because they know the type of person that I am at this point. But to me, that's weird.
You're like hesitating when you're saying that.
Because it's weird to me to never talk about it. And it's something that I need to work on because it's not their fault. I have established the pattern probably that it's uncomfortable for me to talk about this. And so it's something I need to work on, like bringing up my emotions. One of my best friends, she follows me on TikTok, and when we see each other, she's always like, "Oh, how are you doing? Like, what's been up?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm okay. Like, I'm good." She's like, "No, the fuck you're not."
Yeah.
I saw your video and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I lied." And she's like, "Sydney, you don't need to do that. Like, just, we know that you're not okay and it's fine."
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay to not be okay.
She's a beautiful friend.
Right. Yeah, she is.
Yeah. And to be able to like sit witness with that and not try and fix it, but be like,
yeah,
it's okay. You can be an effing total mess.
Yeah.
And things can be completely upside down.
Right.
That's okay.
And that's okay.
And I can bear witness to that. And you can let me see it.
Right. Right.
And it sounds like you're working towards letting that be more open with them.
I'm trying to. Yeah. I think it's really hard to have, like, it's hard when you're in your early 20s and you want to just participate in the conversations that people are having.
Totally.
Like, you're out at dinner and people are talking about like the dates that they've been on.
Yeah.
And like their resolutions for the new year. And you're thinking, it's hard to not think in your head and be like, I'm so overcome with thinking about my health and the uncertainty that comes with that. I want to be lighthearted and I want to be like, oh my God, yes, I'm so excited about this date I'm going on and this boy. And I'm trying to get to that place too, but
that's just not what's happening right now.
It's not what's happening right now. It hasn't been my priority for a while.
Yeah.
I want it to be though, because like, as I'm realizing this is not a short-term thing, I'm going to be dealing with this like for indefinitely. And so I don't want life to pass me by, which has been like a fear recently, that I've put my life on pause and haven't stopped putting myself out there and stopped living in a lot of ways, which is ironic because you think that when you have a late stage cancer diagnosis that you'd start living really fully and crazily, like, oh my gosh, you got to start living like it's your last day.
It's so interesting. I heard you talk about this in a video. And do you feel pressure by that? Or are you just like laughing at the irony of like, babe, we're all like, you can't just be like, it's such a crazy question that has become so popular,
right?
Which is like, what would you do if you had one more year? And it's like, I don't know. I feel like there are more civil ways to integrate, whether that's spontaneity, whether that's like the things we are supposedly longing for, going to Six Flags, buying a boat. Like, there are ways to integrate this in a not fake reality where even if I did have one more day, like, I can't go to Cuba right now. Or maybe, I don't think we can go to Cuba at all. Matter of fact, I can't go to the Bahamas right now.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't want to spend my last day, like, we still have to live.
Right.
So I would probably get my same smoothie I get every day.
Right.
And I will curl up with all my friends and family.
Right.
Like,
and that's the thing, is you find out what really matters, and what matters is laying on the couch with your best friends, watching Sex in the City, drinking a iced vanilla latte.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna be, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to go skydiving. I need to go see the Great Barrier Reef, which are things that I would like to do in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But it's not like, if it were my last week or whatever it might be, I'm not gonna be doing those things. I'm gonna be spending it with the people I love.
also, that's not sustainable.
No.
Skydive Tuesday, Barrier Reef Thursday. Like, you have a life.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not practical either. And that's the thing that I've struggled with a lot too, especially with having a full-time job, because I get a lot of comments on my videos that are like, you need to quit your job.
There are so many things that I want to dive into here.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. You need to quit your job.
You need to quit your job. Why are you still working? Why are you still doing X, Y, Z?
That's literally a brilliant idea with absolutely no thought behind it.
I appreciate...
Like, I think we should all quit our jobs.
Right.
Let's remember. No, if we're really thinking about it, we're all only here for so long, so we should all just quit our jobs. Perfect.
I know.
The internet trolls have honestly solved everything. period.
No, but like a lot of these people, it is coming from a good place. It's like you should quit your job and like be happy. And I understand that. I'm like, you want me to be happy? I want that too. I want to just like go travel and be like a free spirit. But that's not practical because I got to pay the bills.
I got to pay the bills. I also think about this all the time. Like, I was just saying to people, I want to go live in Spain for a year.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
You should.
Iconic. I have medication that I need monthly that was a pain in the ass to get even when I wanted to study in Italy.
Yeah.
Like, some of these things just aren't totally realistic.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all. People are like, I just came back from the best vacation ever in St. John, and people are like, why don't you just move there? You need to just move there.
Babe, why do you think I moved to New York to be treated at is it MSK?
Yeah, MSK, now Johns Hopkins.
Okay.
But it's like, I wish I could so bad. My dream has always been to live in Australia. I would love to live in Australia. Unfortunately, I have to get my pump refilled every 4 weeks. Like, I have to go, I'm in a clinical trial now. I need to do that every other week or so. So it's not practical, which is like sad because it's a life that I do want to live maybe at some point. But
okay, pause for a compliment. I think a lot of what you have expressed in the past like 30 minutes or so is intention in longing for certain things. Like, you want to grow to be more open, communicating IRL with friends and letting that vulnerability shine through.
Yeah.
You are making an intention to not let life pass you by, and like whatever that is, be more present, be more spontaneous within the reasons of what normal life is, and having basically 2 full-time jobs, which is treatment and a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I think at the same time, you seem to be, and I invite you to give yourself so much grace around all of these intentions, because I think we're really similar in that like longing and yearning, and like you could see so clearly like the person you want to be, the life you want to have, and like little do we both know we're already both 99% of the way there.
Yeah.
But in this next year, like balancing that yearning and longing and goal setting with grace, I'm trying to remind myself of this going into the new year too. Like, I don't know. It's that exact balance that you found, which is like, yeah, I can't quit my job and move to Australia, but I can, with reason, like start getting out more.
Yeah.
Maybe like go on a date this year, or maybe like, I don't know what it is that you want specifically.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah, that reminds me of, because I have been reflecting a lot with like the new year coming and setting resolutions, and I've always had some kind of like thing against setting resolutions. I just think it's, as you said earlier, you can choose every day like the person that you want to be. You don't necessarily need like this one big moment to do so. But I think what helps me there is like remembering that every day you can show up as the best version of yourself, but that changes day to day as well. Like the me that's gonna show up on a chemo day is certainly not the me that's gonna show up and be like, I want to go to Australia and bungee jump and skydive, you know? And knowing that that's gonna change every single day.
Yeah, and I think something we talked about, Sid and I's like friendship date traditionally is going to Culture American Frozen Yogurt Company. It's already been blown up, so I don't even care. You guys can go find it. It is the best thing ever. I think who was it? Like Kendall Jenner was there the other day.
Oh,
I was like, God damn it!
She blew up the spot.
Yeah, it's already been blown up.
I know.
But Sid and I will get Culture frozen yogurt, and something you were saying to me, I think last time we got yogurt was like, you feel like you haven't been there for your friends, or like you feel like you haven't been a good friend. And that reminds me of like, you said we're going to show up differently every day. And that's like, okay, I can digest that concept when one day's 50, the other day's 100, the other day's 30. And like they all kind of add up. Where it feels struggly is when one day's 30, the other day's 20, another day's 30, Another day's 40. And it's like, it goes on for a little bit. And I have been at those periods where like, okay, I'm showing up as my best self, but really I feel like my full capacity is just self-serving, which is like, I don't even want to have this conversation because obviously that is totally normal.
Yeah.
But I think there is a mental component of it where like we add this on top, which we talked about last time, removing that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do. It's
really hard to do. And it's something I really have been thinking about a lot because I do feel like I don't show up for the people in my life. And then I talk to people like you, and I talk to genuinely anyone else, and they're like, Sydney, you are going through something incredibly challenging. Give yourself some grace. I think that's honestly the number one thing that you mentioned that I need to take into the next year is to give myself some dang grace because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I hold myself to this unattainable standard, as I feel like you do with a lot of things as well, like very much perfectionism. And that results in me wanting to commit myself 100% to everything I do, like my full-time job, content creation, treatment. But then it feels like being a good friend and being a good daughter and sister can sometimes fall by the wayside with those other things because I'm like, I need to like succeed in these things, and then I don't have enough time for myself or for the people in my life. And that's not something that I want to hold on to.
I think so many more people struggle with this than we even think.
Yeah.
I think even like, I could imagine a new mom is like, I haven't seen my friend in 5 years.
Right.
Because I've been putting like these kids before even myself.
Right. But I guess that's the thing to remember is like the people in your life that love you and care about you are always going to be there for you. Like always. No matter how long like you need to take a step back, no matter how many 30% or 20% days you have, they're going to understand that, and they're going to help pick you back up on those days.
Yeah.
And then be there and celebrate with you on the 100% days.
I think also whether it's fair that it's unintentional or not, I think just by existing sometimes as someone visible on social media and going through adversity with such transparency, you are giving back to so much of the community. Like, you have saved lives, you have changed lives, you have helped someone feel so much less alone in a really dark moment. So that is giving back to community, and your friends and family get to benefit from that honesty too, which shows them how to live as a more raw, real, like awesome human.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of comments from people saying those positive things?
I do, yeah. It's a lot of people that have said, like, you opening up about this has allowed me to be more comfortable and open up with people in my life, or you being honest about your experience has allowed me to understand, like, my dad's diagnosis better.
Wow.
Or to relate better to my parents who are going through this, or to relate better to my child who is going through this, or my best friend who's going through this. And I think that that is so special because I have been friend to someone who's gone through cancer, unfortunately. But prior to that, I had never been a friend to someone who had cancer. And I can't imagine how difficult it is to try to navigate, especially as a young person.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that if I can help people in any way relate to or understand or navigate talking to someone with cancer or supporting someone with cancer or going through their own cancer journey, like, that is so impactful to me.
Yeah. And it is a lot. I find that my comments are a lot more from friends of people or mothers of people, because if you think about it, like, here's the person with cancer, and then it's like there's their circle, and those are typically the people who are like, I know my mom, when I was diagnosed, was like Instagram friends with everyone with cancer.
Really?
She was talking to all of them, being like, my daughter's going through this. I was like, Mom, this is literally so embarrassing. But she would be like, I've been, just, you know, don't get mad, I've been talking to this person. And they would DM with her.
Really?
I DM with moms all the time. Or DM with friends all the time. Like, and yeah, so much to be said. Even this weekend, I got like trolled so hard on social media. It was so mean.
For what?
Wait, this was funny. My dad Did you see this
I saw
video?
this, your purse.
He is like admittedly like pretty bad at Christmas gifts.
Right.
Meanwhile, like what I had to say was like, he was my king. Like through my entire life, like biggest girl dad ever. All my friends are like, he is literally the best father.
Yeah.
He's like typical provider, whatever. Literally used to sit at my bedside from like 2 to 4 a.m. when I couldn't sleep, paralyzed by fear. Like even after when I was in remission and like still having really difficulty sleeping about reoccurrence, sit and squeeze my calves all the way down to my feet for hours. Would literally kneel by my bedside. So he's a king. Anyways, he mixed up some Christmas gifts, gave a Christmas gift that was mine that I bought for myself, that I told him I would get for myself so that it could impress my mom.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Do you guys not live in normal families? I guess I'm the minority here. People were so heated. They were like, he's an awful person. This is the perfect example of what the disgustingness of the male species is. Girl, you're gonna need so much therapy. All this stuff. I'm like, babe, I've been in therapy. Don't even try. Anyways, so many trolls. I guess he was more bullying my dad, but therefore you're bullying me.
No,
like,
exactly. If you bully like your friends or your family, that's
you're
a personal
bullying
hit.
me.
Yeah, right.
He didn't even care. I turned off the comments because I thought he would like be so upset about it. And then I told him about it a few days later and he was like, oh my God, ha ha. Like unbothered, so unbothered.
Unbothered king.
But speaking of trolls.
Yeah, right.
What is your experience with trolling? What is a troll?
What is a troll? Okay, so to me, it is the people on Reddit who decided that I was faking cancer last year.
Oh, you're just going for the gut punch. Yeah, these are the trolls.
Those are the trolls because I don't really get them so much anymore.
Wow.
Since that experience. So that's why like my most vivid recollection of it is from Reddit, which was such a absolute nightmare.
Well, I remember taking this back to a personal note, being at a Bumble and Bumble event.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were in like this 80s basement, whatever. Literally whenever I sit at an event, because you don't know who are going to show up at these things. It's always like random. You could ask for like a list beforehand, but then it's like, I don't know. I don't ask for lists before. I just go.
Could do that.
Sometimes. Okay. Yeah, work it in there. Anytime I see said face lights up, I'm like, that's my girl.
Yep.
So I saw you. We had a moment to catch up. I don't think I had seen you in maybe like a few months or so.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? And you said, I think you were like, have you seen this Reddit thing?
Right.
I was like, I don't touch Reddit.
Which I've learned now. But I wasn't sure if you would remember that because it was such a brief like interaction. But that was when right after the Reddit stuff happened. And I remember going to that event and I had so much raging anxiety because you know when you see something negative about yourself online and you think, it's like the spotlight effect, like you think everyone else has seen it. So I walked into that event like palms sweating. I'm like, they're all gonna look at me and be like, this girl who's faking cancer just walked into the room. I'm not kidding you. I was like, they're gonna think I'm faking cancer.
Yeah, you were suffering with demons.
I was suffering with severe demons. And then I saw you. And of course, like, as you said, anytime.
If anyone would have seen it, it would have been me. I'm on top of this stuff.
She is. But anytime I see Miranda at an event, it is like, I like my safety blanket, like a warm hug. I love you. And I immediately was just like, I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well.
You were pretty.
I was shaking.
You seemed freaked out.
I was so
And
freaked
that's why
out.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Because nobody else, that was the thing, is that nobody else had seen it. Like, I would bring it up to, like, my friends, or, like, I think I might have made a video about it at one point, and everyone was like, what are you talking about? It was a very niche portion of the internet, but it was one that I had stumbled across and was so scared of.
Okay, also, I checked it out after.
Yeah.
Had to.
Right. Curiosity.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
These people were like active.
Oh, active and deep.
So basically it was a forum where people were trying to disprove that Sid had cancer, which first of all, where do you even get that idea? Literally, I think it was like, she has her hair. She's so pretty. She doesn't have cancer. That that doesn't make sense. So then it was like picking apart little things, like you going on a run, or like something in the back of a video being like, is this even real medication? Or like, I'm kind of making that up, but like,
no, that's real.
Was like, it was so granular, and they were on this hunt, this like mission to put it was like a witch hunt. They were like picking together all of these pieces of evidence, pulling this story together, all like I don't know where you get that idea, or genuinely how sick in the head you have to be. It makes me sick to my stomach, and I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine what that must have felt like.
Yeah.
On top of you literally
actually having cancer.
Oh my God. Everything in my body rejects this.
Yeah.
And so what was the process? So you find this out.
Yeah.
Did someone approach you from, was it New York Times?
Yes.
New York Times, folks.
Shout out New York Times. We love her. Katie Rossman is the reporter. She's amazing. I love her. She sent me an email, honestly, at the perfect moment, because it had gotten to the point where it was at night, and I had been reading all of the comments, because even though you can tell yourself, I'm not going to look at the page, you can't not look at the page. It's because every single video I posted, or any single picture, they would repost and be like, this is AI generated. She's not at chemo.
I don't know how to use AI like that.
I didn't even know what AI was at the time. I'm like, what are we talking about? Anyway, so it got to the point where like that evening, I sat down at my computer, pulled out every single file, every single biopsy, every single chemo record, every single hospital report from my doctors, filmed a video, flipped the screen, and went through all.
You're like, fuck HIPAA. I'm exposing all this shit.
And then I was like, oh no, maybe this is legally not allowed. So I held back.
No.
Yeah. So that one went to the draft.
You're like, here's my address, my weight,
my date of birth, my social security number.
Take it all.
I don't care. And honestly, the sad thing is, that still wouldn't have sufficed, because once someone has it out for you, they will not take any shred of evidence.
Nothing.
That will prove them otherwise. And that is something that I did not learn until after the fact. So I was still, every single time I was posting something, thinking, how can I show that this IV is actually in my arm, like in my port? Regardless, Katie came at the perfect time, because she emailed me like that night that I was going to post that video about.
She's like, don't expose HIPAA. I have a solution.
No, literally, it was like magic. I was like, oh my gosh, my fairy godmother has like come into the scene. Yeah. And she was just like, hey, I'm from the New York Times. I'm really interested in your story. Can we meet tomorrow and like grab coffee? And I was just like, what? Like the New York Times?
That's a big kahuna.
That's a big kahuna. Are you serious? And as soon as I met with her, we sat down, and she was just like, I want to tell your story. I want to put this to bed. And like immediately I felt like, because I'm used to the idea that I have to save myself, that nobody is coming to save me. Like that has been deeply ingrained in me. You're like, this girl has so much trauma.
No, I feel similar things.
Okay.
This is why I relate to it all.
Yeah.
And that's a complicated one, because that's a great way to live.
It is.
And it's also sometimes a little bit based in like survival mentality, which you haven't necessarily chosen, but you've been forced into.
Exactly. It's a survival mechanism. But like I'm the only one who can save myself. So to me, I felt backed into a wall at this point with this situation. I was like, nobody can help me. My doctor's not going to voluntarily come out on social media and say something. So when she said, like, I'm going to do this for you, I was just like, thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a huge weight.
So she came out, wrote this beautiful story explaining the entire Reddit, I don't even know what you call it, situation, lore, and then went through had all the credits of talking to Sid's doctors and your reaction, all this. What happened after?
So there was a little bit of back and forth on whether the Reddit page would be shut down.
Because they can do that?
They can. If it's like violating community guidelines, if you're like posting people's information, because they were saying where I was and to show up to places and like.
No.
Yes. This is actually a crazy one. When I did Cycle for Survival, which is if you don't know, a fundraiser that MSK does for rare cancer research.
And it's literally iconic.
It's iconic. People love it. It's like an amazing event, very heartwarming. Cancer survivors go, cancer patients go, their families go.
Stationary, but it's like a Peloton class, basically.
It's like a Peloton class with Equinox and, whatever. There's certain locations that it is at. I remember this was during like the height of the Reddit drama, and people on that page were posting, she will be at this Equinox location at this time. We should all go confront her. At a cancer fundraising event with my close friends and family and other cancer survivors and their families.
Like, who are these people?
I don't know. Like, that is so terrifying. And then, this is a whole another aspect of it. Then the hospital had to get involved because they were worried for my safety.
Bro.
So I remember one day on Christmas Eve, I had chemo, and I brought gifts for the nurses who were working because I was like, we all have to be here. And I know that you guys would probably rather be with your families, and I would rather be with my family.
Yes.
And not a chemo.
Correct.
So I brought them gifts, and the next time I went to the hospital, a man in a suit came up to me and he was like, I need you to come downstairs with me. And I was like, what is going on? And he like takes me into an office and he's like, we've had a complaint from this anonymous source that you are giving gifts to the nurses and that
what
could give you preferential treatment.
I'm sorry. By the way, everyone gives gifts to their nurses.
Right. And
ask a nurse, ask a patient. It's kind of something you just do.
You just do. A lot of patients do. Yeah.
Yes.
Literally everyone. And I was just in shock. I was like, what? So I can't. He was like, you're not allowed to do that
because
anymore.
you posted it.
Because I posted it. Yeah. But then because of that situation, he was like, we're worried for your safety. We have to add this added level of security to your existence as a patient.
Like portals?
Here. Yeah. And so now anytime I go to the hospital, there's like an added layer of security, which is very weird.
You guys suck, you trolls. And do you think they feel bad?
No.
You don't think they feel bad?
No.
Like they feel like an awful person?
No, I don't think so, because the main person who was posting, talked with the reporter, and she was kind of like, she didn't have any sort of, she didn't have any sort of like sympathy. I think she was more like, please don't say my name sort of deal. Like she just didn't want to be exposed, which I'm fine. I never wanted to expose any of these people. I just hope that they like learn from the experience in me actually having cancer, that you can't just accuse people of things.
I mean it so sincerely. I hope they get help.
Right. I hope they do.
Because something's wrong.
And that is what I also found out, is that they were dealing with personal traumas that had led them to act that way. So it's like...
Doesn't excuse it.
It doesn't excuse it, but I do have more empathy for them.
Damn. Okay. So coming out of all of this, do you feel like it's something you learned from? Or you're just like, that was effing weird?
Definitely something I learned from, but I feel like it honestly allowed me to be a lot more of my authentic self on social media, because I feel like reading some of the comments, it did cause a lot of self-reflection. Like, am I being 100% myself? Which I feel like none of us ever really are on social media. There's always some sort of like veil of, we want to portray like ourselves being happier or living our best lives or whatever. Yeah. Like that's why they call it a highlight reel.
Right.
So I have really tried to make it so that my content is as authentic as possible. If I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm happy, I'm happy. I'm not going to let people tell me that that's toxic positivity anymore. And I'm not going to let people tell me that I'm crying too much because this is the reality of my journey. And this is the reality of a lot of people's journeys.
Yeah.
It is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is beautiful.
Thank you.
Truly.
Yeah.
It's like crazy how much we already put on ourselves of like, am I crying too much?
Right.
Am I too happy? Should I be happy right now? And then to have that in a comment section is like a whole other thing. But I love what you said. Like you should be able to and never feel shame for and encouraged to feel so positive and so at light. And some of my very, very, very happiest moments in life were in the thick of treatment.
Yeah.
That's just a fact, because there's a like darkness and light kind of yin yang concept where it, again, like, I guess I could say I'm grateful for it. I'm not really, I don't know, but like I did have some beautiful highs, feeling in touch with myself and the people around me and life and purpose and all of it. And like, that was amazing. And that's okay. It's okay for things to be amazing. It's okay to look beautiful in the middle of treatment. It's okay to feel well and to go for runs.
Yeah.
Like, we should obviously be encouraging all of these things. And I think there's so many misconceptions, but like a lot of people are still active and living and dating through treatment.
Right.
Like, things can get really, really tough physically. And that is very true. However, I would say for like maybe 80% of people living with cancer, their life like is not what we think it is from the 60s, where people are just sitting next to a bowl for, 6 months, never moving. You get up, you see the sun sometimes.
Right. And like, I think it's helpful for us to like post about that, because it encourages people to live and not feel bad about living.
Yeah.
Because you can feel guilty sometimes. Like, should I be doing all of these things? Should I be going to all these events? Like, you should be doing whatever the heck you want to.
Yeah.
It's your life.
Yeah.
And as we've realized, like, you're not guaranteed anything in life. Anything. So you have to live it to your fullest extent and to your fullest potential, or whatever that might be.
Yeah. Like, while we're here, let us not dim our light for anyone,
Right.
and always encourage that light in others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I think like we've touched on this, but like the whole invisible illness thing, that's something that I am always trying to like hammer in on social media, is that I've had so many people treat me differently once they've found out that I have cancer. And I am not saying that you should treat people with cancer differently. I'm saying that you should treat everyone with the same level of empathy that you would treat someone that you know is going through something difficult.
Yeah.
As opposed to you don't know what they're going through, because we are all going through our own challenges and they might not be on the surface visible. But I think that leading with empathy is the most important thing that you can do as a human being, and it can save someone's life.
Literally.
It can allow them to open up.
Yeah.
It can allow you to have better relationships with the people in your lives.
And that's like,
Yeah.
people might have cancer. People might have an autoimmune.
Right.
People might have anxiety.
Right.
They might have depression.
Right.
They might have just lost a friend.
Right.
Their friend might have moved across the country. Their mom might have sent them a snarky text.
Yeah.
Like, their cat peed all over their furniture for the 17th time, and it's frustrating. It's all levels of the spectrum. And yes, like, so much of that, let's lead with empathy. I think this is something that like we've lost a lot of, and we've fostered a lot more of in different ways. And I hope that as a community and society and like people sharing an earth together, we can work towards empathy, and being kind to one another.
Yeah.
It's so easy to not be, and you just forget.
I know, exactly. And I think like just coming back to our origin story of meeting, if you want to say something to someone, say it.
Yeah.
Because it could seriously make their day. Like, you made my day when you came up to me and said something, because I felt so out of place and so imposter syndrome, and like not even at that level, but like if you see someone on the street and you like their shoes, tell them you like their shoes.
Yeah.
Like, say the things out loud.
Didn't
like,
you do something where you did compliments to everyone?
yes, and I need to bring that back now that you say
You
that.
inspired me so much with that video.
Oh my gosh, I do need to bring that back, because seriously, it just goes hand in hand with, like, if someone's having a horrible day and you say, I like your shoes, that could be the thing that brings them back to
Completely.
Because
you felt that before.
Yes, you
when
have.
someone's like, you're like, oh, I feel so freaking ugly today.
Yes.
You're just like, it's not ugliness on the surface. It's just like everything about me feels wrong inside.
Yes, yeah.
And then someone's like, oh my God, I love those joggers or whatever.
Right.
Wait a minute. There's something to live for. And it doesn't have to be superficial, but like,
No.
I love complimenting people's smiles.
Yes,
like, if you have a great smile, I'm going to be
yeah.
like, you have an
You got an
amazing
amazing
smile. Yeah, I am glad I said hi, and I'm glad you were like, yeah, let's get coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous to say hi because, like, I'm still a fan, you know?
Now
So,
I'm a fan.
yeah, I'm so grateful that we
Yeah.
had this conversation.
Me too.
I'm so grateful for our friendship. I'm so grateful that you are who you are and have so much wisdom to impart. I think especially like being such a incredible role model for young women. I can't even express how proud I am of you, how much I learn from you, how much I just enjoy your company. That's
Thank you.
huge. And like you've helped me through so many things, and I know other people, and also helping people isn't your job and you're never obligated to. So existing as you are is enough.
I feel the same for you. You're so inspiring, and everything that you do, I'm like, she is a girl boss. So thank you for having me.
We want to recognize our powering co-sponsors, NBC Cure and Cancer Culture, whose support makes Pink 365 possible. Their missions are deeply personal to me and to so many of us navigating the realities of breast cancer and women's health. NBC Cure donates 100% of net proceeds to advance metastatic breast cancer research, awareness, education, and access, driving meaningful change for the only form of breast cancer that takes lives. Cancer Culture is a nonprofit movement led by patients and advocates who are challenging the way cancer is talked about and funded, creating a space for honesty, equity, and humanity. I'm honored to be partnering with both of these organizations as we work towards a future with better outcomes and more truth-centered conversations.